Ia whaatalo whatu I lau whaafonga mai nei fo I tū la au a fo nei pokalama. Ia avea ia lo nei avanoa mawalunga o se avanoa fo I whaaulo le au maua wo. Ma whaiai ona au ina atu nei pokalama I lungo le ea I ai mase fo I o lau whaafonga anga. Ia wa fo I whaalau teleina o le sila fia ma le malama anga. Ia tātou, ili tātou ngangana, ili ngata le ngangana Samoa, ia o tū maanga I whanua, ia e maise fwoi o tala tuu, ia o ba fwoi le malam anga atili, ia o nei o tātou walo ma whanau, oe sa whananau, ma whananau I whafu ia tunu mamau, ia e pe o ia nei ia New Zealand, Australia, ia ele iai se lātou malam anga tele, ele soifuanga a olai fo I Samoa.
This podcast is a resource or a chance or opportunity to look at language, culture, custom stories, the art of oratory, and our Samoan history.
Toi ti mata ino o le ngangana Samoa, I le whaonga ina lea o muanga ngana ia malanga upu. I taimi fo I le whaonga ina I mo launga.
I think this all came about when, after I went to Samoa, I went for a safari in my mum's village in Sainga, and I was bestowed the title Whaingaa over in Sainga, and for me that was, before that, you know, being a Makai wasn't, it was always something that I wanted to aspire to, because my grandpa was a big influence in my life, and so was my dad. And seeing language and culture being represented, whether it's in the church or other events, it always made me proud to see, you know, my parents or my dad and my grandpa. So it was always something for me to aspire to. But when I went to Samoa and I sat in the Saufai, it wasn't just... it was more than what I thought it was going to be. So coming back from Samoa, I thought, you know, it's a spiritual journey. It's not just something that you go and do and then you've got a chief title and then you come back and that's it. For me, I felt bad that my kids couldn't speak Samoan. They're 10 and 9. And coming back home, I made sure that there's going to be a difference, that my kids are going to learn Samoan, and that I'm going to learn what it means to be a Makai. That's why this podcast is here today. That somewhere where people that are born outside of Samoa, whether it be Australia, America, New Zealand, we've got somewhere to go. We've got a community of other like-minded young people that want to know more, that have a passion for culture, that have a passion for traditions, I kumanga Samoa, a like-minded community where we can all share, where we can all have an opinion, where we can learn from one another. So that's basically the onus of this podcast. That's the people we're trying to reach. Back to the questions. What does being a Makai mean to you? What should it mean to us? What's the importance? How far back does your knowledge go?
O le whaenga o le suafa matai I se tangata. O se whaaloalo mawalunga le I te tono se ainga. I raunga tupulanga matutua atu. E whili mai I le matai I le tangata e tautua matavela. Le mau mai upu o le ngana Samoa o le ala I le pule o le tautua. O ina e whili matamanga mai ai ia se tasi I to tonu o se ainga po se pui ainga I le filifilina o se tasi e tau avea le suafa matai tonu o ainga. E le o se filifilinga whaingo fie foila I le sailinga o se e tasi ai ma fina ngalo I ai le ainga poto po o le pui ainga. E filifili mai se tasi e tau avea le suafa matai o se ainga. I nā vai taimi I ona po o mātou tua āpo, o mātou mātua, ma mātua, o mātou mātua, mātou grandparents, o mātua o mātua, ma taimi o latou matua o kaiminga sa fai e whiriwhili mai lau tautua. E le pei o vai taimi le nei ua mawhai lava o na whaasafua suafa pe te le tautua, pe te le tautua. Ua mawhai lava o na whaasafua suafa i nei vai taimi. Al vai taimi o na pō ia i le whitse fulu, whaasolo mai le valse fulu. Ia o taimi nā sa whaataua ia o le whiriwhilinga o suafa matai tonu ainga. O le avea foila o e mamatai. Ua iai le wha moe moenga po watu umatu iai le wha moe moenga o se ainga. E te tau avea to tonu o le ainga i mea whai e le ngata i le vā i fafo i le vāo o le ainga ma whaalawe lave whai o le ainga i o tonu le nuu i le lalawhanga o le sauwhainga matai. Ia o le avenga nā lea la e tau aveina mea nā e whai atu ai. Me fo i lea e lea e ngana ai Samoa i le whiriwhilinga o le matai. O le ala i le pule o le tautua. O lau tautua la e whiriwhili mai ei oe. O le umi o isia tangata o e maliliwa nisi o e matutua ele i o iai le suafa matai. Ia e le mai loa iai po o lona lava manatu ia. Ia ai o le whiriwhilinga o le matai o se mepe to sili o na tāua mai e whaataua i tonu i lauanga i whanua.
What about for you? What does being a Makai mean for you, and what's...
Ina ua whiriwhilina u ia e matua o lo o to'olua. O le tua o lo o to'olua ia e sau mai saina ia whenga, o i saina i whaleata. O lo na tina o lo matou ainga ia e sau mai ia whenga. O inala ia whenga leana o ulua i matai mai ai, iwa walu sa o matai mai ai, i le suafa se tali. O mai le ainga o laa mal folasa. Ia le fiolo suali ia laa mal folasa. Ia o le taimina sa o matai ai. Ia o se whaaloalo maualunga. Ia te au le whaaloalo le mātua o lo tōlua. Ia o le ala lea o le au mai o le whaaloalo ia te au. Ia o te matai ai ina ua whaia matai o latou ainga i a whenga. Ia a pei o le tūlanga nā. Ia sa le i whaingo fie fo ia te au ai o na lau tautua. Ia i mātua o lo tōlua. Ia wala ai o na whae e mai le suafa matai. Ia ai o taimina o lo talavou wala soifua ma leo langa la tau ia. Ia a leo whaasolo solo ina matua. Ia o te lele taua e tau aveina fo i tono le ainga. Ia mai se fo i o me whai tono le kalesia.
So from 1986, left Samoa, that's 4 years before you became a Makai. How, and you learned off the old man, huh?
Ia o mea lava sa o wawa o ina mai ma mea fo isa o whaalongo ai i le tamao lo to olua. O ina sa o ina mai i tū maanga whaamatai e mai se fo i o le ngangana i le whaangaina i le taimi o le whainga launga i po o whaangaina o le ngana whaatula whale.
Because a lot of my memories growing up in church or birthday or family events, and I remember behind you would always be Grandpa, and always confused me because I know Grandpa knew more than you, but I always questioned why you're speaking and Grandpa's sitting behind you. Sometimes I can see him whispering things to you or like reminding you. It never made sense to me because I thought, why isn't Grandpa just speaking?
O tūnga maleanga I whanua a le whailaunga a Samoa. E ai le tangata e tua lalo atu. E whaamangaku aku ia I le whailaunga po tangata le tū to po leolo o whengai male aso. Ni mea o ngalo I le tangata le tū la I launga. E whaamanatu tūla
like what, whalupenga or...
Ia o isi fo I ngā mea e launga po o alai misia ke o ese whaalupenga ia e mwhaionga whaamangaku aku ia e ngaka fo I lea ongi mea ongi whaalualonga po o whaife au ia alai eiri whaife au I se mea ua misi o ngā ave i lea whaiwhiau ia se whaalolonga ave se whaiwhiau a ngalo pe misi aku le whailaunga ia a lai whaamangaku mai e le kangaka le sa whai lalo pe o le kauanga o le iai o sesi e sa whai kua o le whailaunga
So it's not because, I don't know, you were smarter or you knew more than Grandpa. It was that's the custom, that's the tradition.
Ia ole tu lava ngā malanga I whanua al Samoa. E te tau lava o ngā iai vanga nā lava wale aise si e ke wha moe iai e sosoangi mai ake oe pe whau kua mai ake oe le keimi o laki kua ke launga. Ia o ngā e lea whainga fo I pe ale aise si wha pe e ngofo mai lalo e sa whai mai e sosoangi ake oe. Ai a wha pe o le siringa makaua o le ai o se kasi o lai e kua lalo o le kaunga ngā o le au ngā o le kangaka le sa whai lalo o ia o le tua lalo e wha mangaku mai se mea e ngalo I whai launga ia o ngā e koe wha mangaku fo I le ma whai lo aku.
We're probably not going to get into like all the different uses of amakai because there's a lot and probably go into another episode, but maybe we can cover one. Maybe like a wedding. Say it's a wedding, and you know, as Samoans, we know that at the end of the reception or towards the end of the reception, the Makais are going to get up and do their thing, and for a very long time, for me, it would still amaze me that what would happen at the end of these weddings. Sometimes they get a bit aggressive or a bit rowdy, I think, in different scenarios. But what can you explain what's happening, what the exchanges are? Can you give them a bit of an education around what to expect and the importance and what's happening? What's it called?
Mole kaimi lea wa o le whaongainga o le kūmalanga I whangu o le taimi o le ua mai a le whaipoiponga. Kaimi o whaalolonga. E ta ua la le vaengana o le taimi o le whaalolonga. Ia o le a whaiatu ia whaalolonga le ununga li fau. Ia po le ainga ngā lua o le ununga li o le tama ma le teine. Ia o le a whaiatu whaalolonga I o I whaife au. Ia le ngata I whaife au. Ia o le pai o le kālesia ia po le nuu. O whafo nei ia tunu nei. Ia e tau le kālesia o le nuu. Ia o Samoa, ia o la lava e patino lava ale ia fio anga manu ia e whaianga ia I whalolonga. Ia o le tūla maleanga I whanua. Ia e a mai aloa ia po kalame o le whaipoiponga. Ia o na whai u lava lea ia I le taualunga I whalolonga a ainga ngalua a wafo I pa I o la au whainga luenga. Ia e ku lava la le makai ia ale o le makai o le ainga o le kenge. Ia o ia le o pe o ingi e pakingo iai. Ia le se kasi e kulai e kau ave le wha moe o le whalolonga.
Has that changed over time, you think? Being from the girl's family? Or is it still...
Ia e ku lava le malienga o ainga lua. A whapea ia o mangaku fo le ainga o le kenge ia e lafo I o le ainga o le kama. Ia e whai lava le wā whea wakai. Ia a o le mea lava ia sa wai I ngā vai kaimi. Ia o le pei o le ainga le kenge pa kingo iai. Ia le kuko ko'o. Ia ngā ke kau aveinga. Ia le wha moe o le ainga. Ia le unga li fau. Ia wā fo I wha alolonga. Ia o le kaimi la le umalonga ngā whai whaalolonga ia wai mua lava ia sunga le whai whaipoiponga. Ia le whai whiauleanga ke whapaianga le unga li fau. E wha mua lava i le whaaloalo ia I le sunga le whai whaipoiponga. Ia o wha solo leo ngi whai whiau o le a iai I le wha moe le unga li fau. Peko a lima, peko a ongo, peko a fia whai whiau. Ia e wha solo lava ia i la o vasanginga I ngā vai kaimi ia e ka isua. Ia o ngai vai kaimi a kungu I whafo ngai. Ia a pe e fua lava le lima malosi o le ainga la kou ia. A mangaku lava le ainga e whai whalolonga pe o masangai i le kai o le sua I whai whiau. ia e alu male o le kumalanga I whangua Samoa ia konga ia pe o me pakingo lavanga wa le kumalanga I whangua ia o le ngewa I kaimi ia o isia e ka le sia ia o whawhaingo fie ia ua whakeu kusia mea whakupe ua alu whakupe ia whalolonga o whaife au ia ai ho I wholo I whalolonga I le kalesia ia po whalolonga le ngu ia alula ia le pala malo ia pe o mei o pusa pisupo o pusa moa pusa lengi ia me whapenga.
What do you say to I guess Samoans that are either marrying non-Samoans, whether it's the man or the woman, and there's a struggle to understand why do we need it? It's another cost to our wedding. Weddings are already quite expensive. What's the importance? Where does it overlap into our history or our culture? Why should we still practice this giving or this tradition, this custom?
E pakingo lava I le ainga. Lo winga la fa makalanga e ainga lima malosi. E ainga e vai mai le ngā whakia foi o ngā whaakingo ia le kakoku malanga I whangua. Whapela o se urungali o le pālangi ia le kama o le Samoa le kengi. Ia ke loa I whaingo fie ia wā le pālangi la kou ia e le aisanga anga I whangua masanga anga nguu e pe o kākou Samoa. Iai la le e whaingo fie la le whakingo ingo whaamoe whapenga e fuafua la le ainga Samoa le ainga o le kama ainga o le kenge pe mangaku e whaingi whaalolonga wha Samoa pe le ai o mea langa iai le fuafuanga le ainga ia a mangaku lava le ainga o le kenge wa le kenge o le Samoa a whaingi whaalolonga ia e paula e whai ala le ainga Samoa le la a kau whai le ainga pālangi no inga la o mea umala ia a pe o lo ua finge le la a whai poipo ma pālangi ia lo inga la o mangaku e whai le ku malanga I whangue masangi I kākou Samoa ia e ka penga ala ia uia malak whangau.
Try and look into history that's relevant to this tradition of giving. What there was research papers. So university scholars from New Zealand, America, Australia had written studies and looked into the history and compared it with 17th, 18th century. If we compare the two histories and look at them as a whole and compare the time that they were around, so journey with me for a minute. Say 18th century England. Say there's a wedding. They get on horseback. Their party of people, horse and carriage, and they're traveling to South England. That's a 2 days of travel. So that's 2 days of travel by horse to where they're going. And they're taking with them their presents, their gifts, whether it's grain, what your family has. So say your family, in Samoa, say your family has coconuts, skalo, fa'i, and you can fish and you have fish. Say it was our family back in the day, that's what we would have taken. Say that's our family going to, my wife's family lives in Valvai. My wife's Australian, by the way. But say Jess lived in Valvai and we were traveling over there. How many Ks is it? Do you know?
150 Ks.
Oh, so maybe it wouldn't taken maybe a day. And so that family receiving, they're going to have a banquet for you. And when you watch these movies like on Netflix or whatever, you see it's a big process. And I see my people or Samoan people behaving the same way. It's just not documented and it's not written in movie scripts like it is for UK viewers and US viewers. But That's how it would have been. And so there's a beautiful exchange of sacrifice to be willing to travel and journey that distance. And then, like, when I think about Samoa, I think beauty in practice. And what I mean by that is fa'aloalo, if I could shape it or translate fa'aloalo, it would mean to me that beauty in exchange. So I've come and I've traveled to be here at your wedding. My thanks to you. This is the Fa Samoa. Those customs and traditions, I think, have evolved to be something bigger than what it was intended. And I don't know, maybe in 2024 it's different because we live in a different world, but I still think that it's important, and I still think that we as Samoans should continue to practice it and continue to educate why it's important.
Onga ole pe onga whaiaku kaimi wasola. Kaimi mua molang o whaiaku o ole whae enga o suafa makai iskangaka. E leo se mea e mawang o fie. E leo se mea mawang o fie. E peilaonga iai o makai e kolu.
Why 3?
O le makai mal aingo o ka maolo ko lua. Ia male makai mai I aingo o le kingaolo ko lua. Ia mai se o ala fo yo o fa makai au I le mako ainga I king aingo lo kinga. Ia o le filfilinga lava I kongo le pui ainga. Ia e pe o mea ia e le pe o fa ia kwa yo vai kaimi ia e le faingo fie le saidingo o le se ave ele suafa makai e le faingo fie e saili lau kaukua ia malaunga lue po ange o mea fai kongo le ainga ia e whape ngai le pela vai kaimine I o mawhai anga whaasafua I mai ngei I alo mawha ngaule ngofo I whafua kusalava pele kaukua I Samoa ia ai o ave lava iei whaalo alo o o le ingisi ave iei a suafa makai.
What about people that have I don't know 5 or 6 or more than that?
E le whakwa o ia meanga onga o whaalolonga o lesi e ala foi onga e maua ia le suafa makai maualunga po ngisi suafa o ainga e mai ake oe. Ia onga le vaai maualunga mai fo I ake oe ia o oe fo skangaka e ka mau ainga le nganga I le nganga Samoa malangu ia ele leilau fola ele lei fo I lau I lau kaukala le nganga Samoa pe o si ku ngai mawhai ai onga ia langa ka fo I leo whaia o whaia I kongo o ainga ia pe o ngai e mai e whaalo longa pe lima pe ongo e paula e kuulava mai lava yaki oi au e mangaku ai ke mga o e kau avel suafa leo filifilia mai se ainga ya oi ia e mawhai lava onga e suafa ai pe ke makai ai.
Who's someone that you know that has heaps of makai? Oh, you don't have to say their name, but how many names do they have, or how many chief titles makai?
Ko ke lea kaka ke vai ak pai lungo o lako pokalame ia o ko ke le lava lako suafa makai lai pe mawale fa pe lima lako suafa makai.
Oh, okay. So like not 10.
No. Kele nga.
How many you got? 3, so you can have 2 more. I remember you said kaukua makavela. What does that mean?
O lau kaukua makavela ia e pe e whaakingo mai lea I kua le e maua mai lea I kua le umkuka.
Yeah.
O lau whaakingo ingo o lau kaukua te whaingo suavai whaingo mea ai ia mai se so se au lava e ke vai aku lava e ke le solo muli I le whaakingo ingo le o lau kaukua whaakau le lea. Wa vela wa lo inga so se mea lava e vai aku e ke ngau e whai male mai e whai malo malosi e whai malo loko iai ke le wheala o whai pe ke wha long ki ngā e whai e le malo loko a koa lau ngaluenga lai whai e lau kaukua.
just going back to weddings really quickly. I've emceed a few weddings now, and I know you've done maybe a couple of weddings. I remember a couple that asked me to do their wedding. I won't say who the couple were because they didn't end up getting married. But they asked me to let the people at the wedding know not to do any Samoa stuff at the end of the wedding. I said to them, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if that's my place. This was before I became a Makai. So I didn't really look at it as a Makai. And I think now that I am a Makai, what I did was I told them that I can't do that. And I don't think I'm the right person to tell Makais at your wedding that they can't do that. But I think now I would choose to educate the couple and tell them why it's important and why they should have that at their wedding. What would you do? What do you think is the best way to approach that?
Ai ole ungali Samoa.
One Samoan, one's Palangi. The boy was Samoan and the girl was Palangi.
Ia ole vaenga nga.
She said, I don't know, I didn't understand what it's about. And he hasn't, because they're young, they were like 23.
Ai olo o iai longa ainga kongo whainga whaipaipong.
Yeah.
Ia ole vaenga lala ngā e kaule ainga o ngā whailoa mai ia ki oe le MC ia le porkalame ma le fuafuanga o le whaipoiponga. Pea whai o le Palangi ma le Samoa. Ia a wha mangaku ia le ainga e le whaies wha Samoa. Ia e ma whai lava o ngā whailoa i keimi o le MC ia wha maruru aku ia i le pa ia mawalunga fo i o Samoa o poko ma malu lau walaulia o whakasi mai le so. O le kakoku malanga i whangua wala o anganguu malau wha Samoa. Ia e wha maruru aku o le aleo o iai sa mako leo.
Is that not rude?
Ia e rude lava.
If you were sitting in that wedding and your generation around you, and I said, like a young Makai getting up, being the MC and whamaluaku like
ia ole kulanga.
How does that make you feel?
Ole o kangaka uma le valaulia i le whaipoiponga. Ai me se ngi wō mangi valaulia fo i kangaka Samoa.
Yeah.
A whapela o so se makai e laku se whapokopokonga, po se whaipoiponga, po o ngi me whai le kale sia le valaulia. A la laku le makai e saungi e whai di whawhikai i le ainga e kusafo i ma le valaulia, ma le whamoe le whaipoiponga. E la saungi aku so se makai lava e valaulia.
Because it's a honor, right? It's special.
Ole kualea ma le anga kākou Samoa. Me ngi o whaipoiponga ma o ngi aswhangau. I o me whapenga. A iei se valaulia i kangaka Samoa. Ia e afo i. E laku ale le makai, so se makai lava pe kula fale po e laku mal saungi mal kāpenga aku ngā ke whai al whawhikai e momoli al whawhikai i le kangaka le ungali i fou, ia po se aswhangau. Ia mai alanga kakau fo i la, o ku wai le kungungu e le uma, le whapela uma se whamoe moe o kungungu le ia mao. E kaulavan kulunga e moli le anga whawhikai.
So say you're at that wedding and that happens and you hear it, you're going home like, what the...
Ia, o mea ngai o iai. Ai a whapea lava e al kangakai po le ale whai aku o le MC. Ia ma wha maruru aku. Ia ai ma whai lava o ngā kumai. Ia ngā singa mingu ki ai moli koi si ngang whai langa whainka le pa ia mawalunga wale sunga le whawhengainga. Ia ai ma se fo o le pa ia mawalunga o le wala ulia. Ia e ne mwhai o mako wongu.
Yeah. So what do you say as... Say you're the MC and they come to you and you've done that. instead of just saying, okay, I'll tell them, but because you know that other Makais will still get up and do it, how do you tell them that it's going to happen and the importance around it? What do you say quickly to let them know that?
Ia, mawhaiawa o ngā peo o rangakaia o masangi I kūmanga whapeo asa whapengi. Ia ngā whapea kua, ia, lua minguke. Ia.
Oh, yeah.
La kua kula vangoa ngale lua minguke.
Yeah, okay.
Ongo ki whaingakal kako wawhea whakai. Ngal kako angai whangua. Ia, kua ku lua minguke. Whapupu mai ei lau launga.
Okay. Thank you. That's all we've got time for, I think, today. But thanks, Dad, for coming along. Appreciate your time. Maybe do a quick outro and thank people for watching. Maybe invite people to join the community and in our language, and then I'll finish us up.
Yeah. Now, manatu la whaangata mai ili tato po kalame ne fo itu la mo lau sila whaafonga ma lau mai mo mai. Ia manatu la umi se si tato po kalame ia ona ua po fo tato taimi ia ona o taimi whaatulanga ina. Ia ai mo leatulanga whaafitai mo lau taimi whaavanoa ia whaamanuia le tua lau ne fiafi.
Thanks for tuning in. Like I said before, this is an opportunity or a resource for like-minded Samoans that are looking for an avenue to learn a bit more about our culture, customs, and traditions. Join the community. We'll have a YouTube page. We'll be on Spotify, and we might even have a little community forum somewhere. But please like, share, subscribe to somebody that you know would like to be a part of the community, and let's grow it. Let's learn, and let's keep Samoan traditions alive.